Hey guys, this is going to be game 2 of a 3-game tournament that I played at Atomic Empire. I'm playing vampire counts this time. Alright, now the scenario for this one is, it's just that the time for, giving thanks. So there's going to be a chaos turkey in the middle of the table. And this turkey is going to it's going to move randomly into random moves phase, or the compulsory moves phase, 2d6 in a random direction. It can't charge you, so if it comes into contact with any enemy or possible terrain or anything like that, it stops 1 inch away. You can charge it. When you charge it, it has to automatically flee. If you catch it while you're charging, you gain an extra 300 victory points. So this is like a neat little thing, and it's a tiny, tiny little turkey, so it's really, really easy to lose track of. So we'll take another look at my army list, and I'm going against, good old Paul's vampires again. We didn't play each other at Grow Quest, which is really disappointing to us because we played each other in like 6 or 7 tournaments in a row. But here we are, we're back together, we're playing each other again. So here we go. This is going to be fun. Now when you look at his list, he's not going to have any Terrorgeist. So like my first reaction was like, I'm really happy he doesn't have any Terrorgeist. But he's going to instead have 3 units of Hex Knights, and I've got one magic weapon. So I'm really nervous about all these Hex Knights, but I guess generally I'm happier facing Hex Knights than Terrorgeist. But he is still going to have the gigantic, Vampire Knight bus. So that's scary, but it seems like when I'm playing Paul, my Doom Divers and Foot of Gork cannot miss against his Knight bus. So we're going to have to see what happens this time. Does my luck hold up? So look at our deployment, and I'm on the same table as I was the first game. This is a small tournament. I think there's only 4 or 5 tables, so it's pretty easy to be on the same table more than once. But I also got the same side, and he's basically centered here. But I'm really worried about those Hex Knights. So I'm not exactly sure what to do other than try to hang back and try to pound that Knight bus as much as possible. So this is just a little bit closer look at my deployment, and like one of the trolls here, I was trying to keep them away from the Hex Knights, but he was having to out-deploy me and get 2 units of Hex Knights where I have to be really worried about them going into my trolls and holding up my trolls for most of the game. So this is our vanguards, and my little wolf runner unit in front of the trolls. I really can't vanguard them because they're like 12.5 inches away from his wolves right now, so I can move them a ½ inch, but then I can't charge if I win the first turn, so I just keep them where they are. So he's going to win the first turn anyway, and basically he's going to charge Hex Knights at my wolf rider that did vanguard, and I forgot that they cost Terra, so I failed my Terra test. I'm trying to hold, and my wolf riders flee right in front of my Savage Orcs, which isn't probably the worst thing in the world right now, but because since I've left from a charge, if I rally them, then on my turn I can move them up to slow down those Black Knights, which is probably better off than where I deployed them to start with. And the only other thing I'll note is that he's going to raise some zombies in his magic phase in front of my savages, which again, if I fail my frenzy test, that's bad, but otherwise, if it slows down those knights, I'm happy about it. And this is my first turn, and you can already see things are just falling apart for him already. I get Foot of Gork off. I don't even get Irresistible. He just fails to dispel it. And I do 2 stomps on his Black Knight units. Both of them are basically direct hits. I kill 9 knights out of his 12. And then I roll a 1, and he kills like 10 of my savages, but I'll trade 10 Savage Orcs for 9 Death Knights, all the time. And then what's even worse, I have 2 Spear Chuckers on that hill. Both of them shoot. The first one misfires. The second one hits and kills his level 1 vampire, and then I think it kills 1 more knight. So he's basically down to just his lord, his White King, and 1 or 2 knights at this point. So then I have my Doom Divers. They come on. They kill the remaining 2 knights and do like a wound to his White King. They might have done 2 wounds to his White King. He's got 2 wounds here, but I can't remember if the Doom Divers did that or not. But then after that, I still have my Rock Lava left. I'm like, all he's got left at this point in his unit is the Vampire Lord and the White King. So I'll put the template right over the Vampire Lord. I get a direct hit. He can't do the Lookout Star anymore. I wound him. He fails his ward save. I roll the D6 wound and I kill his Vampire Lord. And it's just very, very bad for him already off the bat. And he thinks about should I go ahead and concede? Because at this point he's taking so much damage, he could crumble so much. But he decides just to go ahead and play it out a little bit. And so this is just a picture of the crumbles right after his general dies, and he's going to lose a bunch of Hex Knights in his two of his small units, but he's only going to lose one out of his big unit. And he uses a bunch of zombies and skeletons, but that's not that big of a deal. I think one of his wolf units gets wiped out as well. And the bad thing about crumbling on my turn is that at the start of his turn, he's got to crumble again. One of his Hex Wraith units is going to get wiped out. He's going to lose some more zombies and skeletons. His White King's been passing leadership and has been fine. But it's really, really bad for him at this point. So, I mean, we're just probably going to try to play this turn just to see what happens. I think he wants to try to get some vengeance with his White King, even though at this point we know the game's basically over already. And so he's going to charge his White King at my Wolf Riders, because they had rallied on my turn and I moved them up there to try to slow those Knights down, because I didn't realize I was going to do so much damage to those Knights. And then he's going to charge zombies into one of my chariots. It's a long charge, but he's good. I think he needed a 10 and he makes it. And he charges wolves and the big unit of Hex Wraiths at my 2 Spear Chuckers. And so he has no magic. Going into combat, he destroys my Spear Chuckers, and however, he destroys my Wolf Riders. However, my Wolf Chariot actually manages to win that combat against those zombies. And I either win or only lose by 1, and my general's right there and I hold. So he was able to get the chariot, but he's getting some stuff here. I mean, mainly I think he's just trying to get his White King to try to do a kill and blow my general and see if he can do that. And so this is the bottom of my second turn. I'm going to charge. My trolls are going to charge the Chaos Turkey because it moved randomly right in front of them. And for some reason, I redirect when the Chaos Turkey flees and to try to redirect to the zombies. I don't know why I do that, because the zombies are worth like 100 points, and the Chaos Turkey is worth 300 points. But it doesn't really matter. But if it goes a close game, it's something I need to really think about. What was I thinking about there? Other than that, I charge my savages. They're able to hit his White King first, and I can't remember if my trolls made it to those zombies, and that's why the zombies pushed back. I can't remember if I beat them and they crumbled, or if I just handed Gork to those trolls to look like that. I can't remember what happens exactly. But basically, I'm not able to hurt his White King with my general. He does get a kill and blow off on my general, but I make my ward save. So basically, that's how we're going to end the game here, because his White King is going to crumble, and there's really nothing else he can do. So this is going to be a victory for the Orcs. I mean, this is one of those games when it's over on the first turn, and he was a real good sport about it. I don't know what it is about when I play Paul. All my shooting and magic is just perfect against his Night Bus, and it's like that's such a big target. There's really no choice but to shoot at it. And but for some reason, all my shooting is just spot on against him, and I'll struggle to even make charges with double ones when I played anybody else. But against Paul, I could just get direct hits with everything. And so this was a short game. It was still fun, but you feel bad when the game's so short like this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this game, even though it was real short. My third game is going to be against Warriors of Chaos, and I'll see you guys next time.